Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So a while ago I made a poll and I asked you guys who you would like to hear from in a reading, and these are the results that we got. As you can see, the most popular answers were messages from your future self and messages from the person on your mind. And I've already done the future self reading. I'm gonna link it down below in case you haven't seen it yet and you would like to. But today we are doing messages from your person. I'm gonna call them your person during this reading, but it's anyone you have in mind, anyone you would like to hear from. It can be a romantic connection, a platonic connection. It could be a loved one who has passed over to the other side. It honestly doesn't even need to be a person. It could be a spirit guide, a guardian angel, really whomever you would like to hear messages from. Just keep them in mind while you are choosing your group so that you can get messages from them. We have 4 readings to choose from today, and so if you would like to hear from multiple people, please feel free to choose as many groups as you want. You could even think of 4 different people and get messages from all of them in the different groups. It is completely up to you how you'd like to use this reading today. But without further ado, let's take a look at your options. So I'm going to show you these 4 crystals up close one by one, and then please pick whichever one or ones you feel drawn to the most. Number 1 is fluorite. Number 2 is Mangano Calcite. Number 3 is Caribbean Calcite. And number 4 is Rainbow Quartz. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number ones, so if you guys chose the fluorite heart, this is going to be your reading all about messages from your person. I just have to tell you guys something. When I was filming the intro, I hold each stone up to the camera so that you can see it up close. And when I brought up your heart to the camera, the timer was exactly at 143, which is a number that makes me think of I love you, because the words are like 1 letter, 4 letters, 3 letters. So it was just a really sweet moment where I had the heart right up in the camera and it said 143. And so I think right off the bat, that is the first message from your person. They are sending you a lot of love. They're telling you that they love you. So let's get into the cards now. We're going to be using these 2 decks today. If you watch my future self reading, you will recognize them. We are using the Mystic Dreams Advanced Tarot and the Inquire Within Oracle, and this is a bundle that I have curated in collaboration with Tarot Stack. It's the KINO Tarot Winter Bundle. I think a lot of you guys have heard of Tarot Stack already, but just in case you haven't, they're an online shop that features a wide selection of indie tarot and oracle decks, so you can browse a ton of different decks from different creators all in one place. And I love supporting Tarot Stack because 50% of their profits go towards funding new indie deck projects. They actually just published their first deck recently, but they help independent tarot and oracle deck creators get their deck printed and published and marketed and out there into the world so that we can enjoy them and appreciate them. And I really love what they do. This bundle is going to be linked down below, as well as the individual decks so that you can check them out. But if you do want to get the bundle, you can get 10% off using the code KINO. So without further ado, let's get into your reading. We're going to start off with the Mystic Dreams Tarot. I'm already getting quite a sweet vibe from this group. Also, I didn't think of this when I was choosing your stone, but the fact that this heart is green is also really cute because green is the color of the heart chakra. In terms of how your person is doing, it feels like they've kind of been on autopilot for the past while. I feel like they have a lot going on, or They have a lot of stuff that they need to do. They could have a really big deadline or something like that. But it feels like they're just going through the motions. Like, I got to keep my head down. I got to get this stuff done. And it feels autopilot-y for some reason. Like, maybe they're just shutting other things out and like, I just got to focus on getting these tasks done. I got to focus on this daily routine. Interesting. I just heard like robotic, almost as if they're going through the motions like a machine right now, because they just gotta get stuff done. I also think that the next time you hear from this person, if they are a incarnate person, because like we said in the intro, they certainly don't have to be. If they are here on Earth, I think the next time you hear from them will be from a phone call, you know, like an actual speaking phone call. Could be like a video call as well. And I think this is actually going to be quite soon and kind of unexpected. And no particular reason that they're calling you. They might say or make up a reason, but I think it's more so just that they want to talk to you. They want to hear your voice. They're thinking about you. So kind of like a little call out of the blue. I think this is also very specific, like just for a couple of you, but I have a strong visual of a woodpecker. I think I'm gonna Google, let me make a note of that. I'm gonna Google what the spiritual meaning is of a woodpecker. That could be like, never mind. Let me get my mind out of the gutter. It could have a spiritual meaning that is symbolic to your connection. It could also be like, I don't know, it could be a certain country's national bird even, and like that country could be significant. So I'm gonna look that up when I'm done filming. Okay, so we are going to pull a row of 3 cards at first to get messages from them. Could be one big message, it could be 3 small messages, however they would like to do it. And then we are going to pull a row below that to clarify. Okay, so we are starting off with the 9 of Swords. The 3 of Swords, and the 8 of Swords. Wow, lots of Swords energy going on. So this person could be an air sign, or the season of winter could be significant, like they're born in the winter, or like whenever winter is coming up next. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it's literally right now. If you're in the southern hemisphere, could be in a few months. But of course, you could be watching this reading at any time. But I think winter is important. Swords also talk about the mind. So this could be a sign that your person is thinking about you a lot. Swords can also talk about communication. So I think that's confirming also that they'll be reaching out to you soon. And they also talk about truth and clarity. So this person could be getting clear about how they really feel about you, or getting clarity in some aspect of their life that is going to help this connection. Let's pull some clarifiers, and then we'll just look at everything as a whole. Something about movies is significant as well. So there could be a movie that reminds this person of you, or vice versa, or they might send you telepathic messages through movies. So like if a theme of a movie or a line in a movie really stands out to you, even a song that you hear in a movie could be relevant, and that's this person's higher self reaching out and speaking to you. Interesting. So to clarify the 9 of Swords, we have completion, which is the world. To clarify the Three of Swords, we have the Ruler of Wands, which is the King of Wands. And to clarify the, wait, did I say this was? Yeah, it is the Eight of Swords. Okay. To clarify the Eight of Swords, we have the Nine of Cups. Wow. Okay, so a couple different ways that I can interpret the Nine of Swords clarified by the world. One thing, if this person is on Earth, it feels like they don't like the distance that is between the two of you. So maybe this is for those of you who are long distance or don't see each other that much. It does seem very clear that the distance bothers them. And somehow it makes them anxious. It could be because they worry about you, they worry if you're doing okay, or they worry when they're going to be able to see you again, or it could just plain be that they miss you. If you don't see this person often or you haven't seen them in a while, sometimes they could have intrusive thoughts that like you would forget about them, or I just heard like you wouldn't need them anymore, or you wouldn't want to see them anymore. It's like they worry about not being able to see you, or they worry about being far away from you. The other thing, because this card is called completion in this deck, and the world does speak about completion, for some of you, depending on your situation, it could be that they worry that it's literally like over between the two of you. So they may worry that they don't have a chance anymore, that they really are not going to see you anymore. Maybe they worry that they messed something up. I will say, with all of these swords cards in the top row, this does look like the type of person who gets in their head quite a bit, although I have a feeling that they do a pretty good job of hiding it. With these cards below, I'm getting the sense that this person has a lot of people who admire them. They kind of come across as the cool person or the popular person or the ray of sunshine person. Like there's people want to be around them. People want to be close to them. They're kind of like that bright, lovable character. And they seem quite cheerful. And I think they truly are. But it's like you wouldn't guess from seeing them or from being around them that they do tend to be anxious, or they do tend to worry or get in their head. They think a lot more than they let on. And I think it's the same when it comes to you. They think about you a lot more than they let on. They think about the connection. And they worry about you a lot more than they let on. Like this person well, depending on who it is, it might make a lot of sense. But it's like they worry a lot if you're doing okay. So it's not just a selfish worry of like, do they like me? Do they need me? Am I going to see them again? It's also just like wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope that you're okay. Like we may not communicate super a lot, but I do think about you a lot, and I do worry that you're okay. And I don't like being away from you. If this person made a decision to put distance between the two of you, or if they made a decision that just consequently led to you being far apart, for example, like took a job far away from you or moved away for school or something like that, there's a little part of them, I think, that kind of regrets it, or they're kind of sad about the decision. We do have the Three of Swords here, which it does talk about sadness and heartbreak, and it can also talk about separation. I think that when this person is struggling, when they're feeling down or anxious or whatever it might be, your presence or your energy is one of the things that calms them down the most. And for some of you guys, I'm hearing that they kind of took this for granted at one point. They took for granted that you would always be around, or like your calming energy would always be around. And there is really a feeling of them missing you and just not something isn't sitting right when they're away from you. There's something about your presence that really just like settles them, calms them, reassures them. I also get the feeling that Yeah, and maybe this is why there's that theme of your person finding truth and finding clarity. It seems like this person recently made, or maybe it's actually not so recent, but they made a significant decision in their life because they were chasing something that they thought was important to them. And then they kind of realized that it was empty, for lack of a better word. The example that's coming to my mind, and I think for many of you this is like symbolic, but the example that's coming to my mind is someone who, let's say they wanted to become like a rock star, and they're like chasing that dream of like money and fame and girls and being cool and all this stuff. Because that's like the idealized version of the lifestyle. But then when they actually start living that lifestyle, they're exhausted because they're constantly on the road. They're frustrated because there's like big labels trying to, shape their brand and tell them what to do. And they're away from their family all the time. And maybe they missed their nephew's first steps, or they missed their mom's 50th birthday, or whatever it might be. And they're like, damn, I'm missing out on the things that really matter. And these things that I were chasing were kind of superficial, like these money and these girls and this fame. Like, it's just, I thought I was doing something like super cool, and it's just not. It's just not. It's like they feel kind of disillusioned by something. Of course, this rock star example, it's symbolic. It'd be very interesting if that's actually what happened for you guys, but it's more the symbolism of like, I was chasing this thing because I thought it would make me feel confident. I thought it would make me feel cool, or like I thought it would fulfill me, but at what cost? Because I realized that I'm missing out on what really matters. And what really matters to me is being able to be there for important moments with my loved ones. I think that's what the Nine of Cups is talking about as well. There's a shift that is going on in this person where they're not chasing an image, or they're not chasing physical things or superficial things. They want a deeper fulfillment. I also think that this person maybe has been or has tried to be hyper independent. Like, I don't need anyone, or I'm not going to get attached to anyone, or, I'm just going to be a free spirit. And they're like, wow, but being completely free kind of sucks. Like, it feels like they want to like settle down. They want a home to come back to. And it's almost like they felt a separation anxiety being away from you. But at the same time, maybe they worry whether they can go back. They worry whether it's too late. I'm thinking of that scene in The Notebook at the end where like Allie comes back to oh my God, what's the guy's name? Oops, whatever. Allie comes back to the guy's house, to Ryan Gosling's house with her suitcase. Like, she finally decided to come back and stay with him for good. I mean, I think that's what this person wants to do. They want to be with you, or they want to live closer to you. They just want to have you around more. I realize for some of you as well, it could be you who went off to chase and pursue things. And so they're worried, like, if it's truly making you happy. But yeah, someone's going through this journey of realizing like what they thought they wanted really isn't all that, and realizing what truly matters to them. Also, I think it's really interesting we have the Eight of Swords clarified by the Nine of Cups. I think a lot of things that this person once wished for or once wanted was kind of fueled by insecurities. So they would pursue things not because they genuinely wanted it or because it was genuinely like in alignment with their higher self, but because they wanted to fill some void of low self-esteem. And an example that's coming to my mind right away, again, this could be a symbolic example, but like someone who has a lot of casual hookups. Those are definitely not for everyone. Like, some people can live that life, and if you can, that's awesome. But I think for some other people, it's not really because we like that person or want to pursue things with that person, or it's not simply like, oh, it's just fun, but there's sometimes something deeper of wanting that validation, of wanting to feel desirable, of wanting to feel like you can, I don't know what you say, wanting to feel like you can get someone, pull someone, I don't know what you say, but it can bring that feeling of validation, like being wanted. And I think something that they were pursuing, it was more of that than anything else. I could also use the example of someone, posting on social media, not because they really feel like they want to add value, but they feel good when they get the likes or something like that. The reasoning is like to fulfill insecurities. And for some, it could be that when they were living like that or behaving like that, it could have hurt you. It could have confused you. It could have discouraged you in some way, especially if you recognize that that's what they were doing. It could even be trying to become a doctor, not because you have a passion for being a doctor, but because you want to like prove to your parents that you can do it. That's from an insecurity. Or you want to one up your sibling because your parents always compared you to and low-key hinted that your sibling was better. I think you guys get the picture. They've done something like that, and I think they're coming through to tell you that they kind of recognize the root of their behavior now. And I honestly think that they feel a little bit ashamed, which I don't think they should feel ashamed, because being a human and dealing with insecurities is very difficult. And it takes a lot of courage to admit that the reasons behind like why you do what you do. I think it's actually amazing that they've come to this realization. I do notice my throat kind of closing up when I say this. So I think that their higher self is coming through right now to tell you, because their 3D self might not be ready to tell you yet. It seems like they feel kind of ashamed, because whatever this is, I think it kind of impacted the relationship between the two of you. And with this King of Wands, I also feel like some kind of pride. Going back to like the casual hookups example, like if we say this is a love interest, obviously that sort of behavior would hinder a meaningful union between the two of you. But this is kind of giving the vibe that they may have been too prideful to admit that. So like, it's not because of like low self-esteem or whatever. It's like, I'm just a free spirit. Like, I'm just, it's like they kind of denied it to seem cool, or they were proud. They weren't ready to admit like the real reasoning behind their actions. It kind of seems like that. And so I think at this point, like as an objective person looking, I think it's amazing that they've kind of had this breakthrough, but as them subjectively going through it, I do think it brings kind of feelings of, shame and regret, which they just have to work through. And I don't say that to be dismissive of like, oh, you just have to get over it, but it will be worked through in time. So yeah, they're coming through to let you know this as their higher self. Oh, like my voice is shaking, if you can tell, because it's just a bit hard, I think, for their 3D self to come forward. They might worry about your reaction, or worry like if it's even worth it at this point, if it would even make a difference at this point. That kind of feels like a cop-out. I don't know, would it even make a difference at this point? It's like, that's what I say so that I don't have to speak up and be open. I think it's more, I'm scared of your reaction. Wow. So there's clarity about what really matters to them. And they miss you a lot. I should say that it's like they miss your energy, they miss connecting with you. So even, I think for a lot of you, there is some degree of separation involved, but let's say even if you saw this person every day, they could still miss you because they miss like connecting with you in the same, you know, deep or intimate way that you did before, is kind of the feeling. So let's move on to the next deck. We're going to take a look at some Inquire Within cards. What else does group 1's person want to say to them? We have rest. I feel like this is the type of person who will worry about you and like worry if you're being taken care of, but then maybe not take care of themselves sometimes. I just thought of someone, for example, let's say this is someone who even just like we saw at the beginning of the reading, like tunnel vision, autopilot, getting things done. They might, for example, forget to eat or forget to drink water, but then they'll turn around and say to you, like, are you eating well? Are you drinking water? Are you sleeping well? And like, meanwhile, they have bags under their eyes, and it's like, take care of yourself too. But anyway, they're coming through because they want to make sure you are getting enough rest. Like I said, I think this person worries about you a lot if you're doing well. I think especially they hope that you are eating well. They hope that you're eating good food. I just had Release, which flew out. It flew out and fell on the floor. We have repeating R's here. So R could be a significant initial of someone's first, middle, or last name. It could also be the first letter of a city or country, perhaps where one or both of you come from, or where you guys met, or it could be the initial of like a company or a school or something like that. Interesting that we have rest and release, and the way that release shot out, it's like it's like there's something that they want to get off their chest, and it makes sense. And I just have to say, because this is the second time my mind is going there, if this is like a love interest, I do think there's a lot of like pent up sexual energy going on. Please ignore me if it's not that kind of connection, and I'm sorry if I made it awkward, but you should have seen the pressure with which that release card shot out. What else does group number 1's person want to say to them? So we have 2 coming out at the same time. I'll take them together. Wow, yes you can. Don't take it all too seriously. There's something that your person thinks you are amazing at, but you don't really see it. You might doubt yourself. You might say, oh, it's just a hobby. I just do it for fun. And they're like, no, seriously, you are one of the best I've ever seen. You should really consider pursuing this further. You can do it. You can do it. And I feel like deep down, you guys really do want to do it. Like, for example, they think you're an amazing singer and you're like, oh no, like I just sing for fun. Like I just sing at karaoke. It's whatever. I'm not that great. And they're like, no, you have the most beautiful voice I've ever heard. Please, like, post your singing videos or like send your demo tape somewhere. It's like they're pushing you to recognize how good you are at something that you brush off. And car horn, confirmation. This is them letting you know that you can do it. And maybe if you take yourself less seriously, you will be less scared, you know? Using that singer example, imagine the difference in tension and nerves and fear between someone who's going to an audition and saying, this is my determining moment if I am a good singer or if I am worthless, and all of the weight of my potential falls on this audition. Like, they're gonna be freaking terrified. But if they're going in there like, I'm gonna do my best, but I'm just here to have fun and singing is so amazing, and you know, then they're open to connecting with the judges and feeling the judges' humanity. And you don't sing good when you're tense. And I think taking ourselves too seriously, and I think perfectionism is a part of taking ourselves too seriously, and like stage fright, fear of putting ourselves out there, it all comes from taking ourselves too seriously. At least I think, or at least that's what they're saying. It really does rob us of a lot of amazing opportunities. It robs us of a lot of fun times, and it can freeze us in our tracks on the journey towards our dreams. It really, really gets in our way. So they're like, I've seen you, and that's the thing, I think they've seen you do this thing like when you're not even, like, candidly, you know what I mean? Like in the singing example, they just hear you singing around the house when you think no one's listening, or they hear you singing along in the car when you're not taking yourself seriously, when you're just doing it for the passion of it. And that's when your essence shines through and they're like, holy shit, they're amazing at that. But then when you start to think, oh, people are watching me, people are judging me, that's kind of like when you clam up. And so I think you tell them like, oh no, like I just do it for fun. And it's like, yeah, but you could bring that fun and like, anyway, that's just them, right? I'm not saying you have to do that, of course, but there's something that they think you're really, really good at and that you should consider making a career out of. Or at least putting yourself out there with it. And then let's get one more. Nourish. And we were literally talking about they want to make sure you're eating enough. Rest, nourish yourself. And then at the bottom, we have slow change. I do think that there will be change coming to this connection, just considering the journey that this person has been on. I do think it's going to be gradual, or this could be their higher self acknowledging, like, I know that I've been taking my sweet ass time, but growth and healing does take its sweet ass time. And I like this image. It's like the edges are softening, you know? They're becoming softer. They're becoming less guarded. Yeah, they're rounding up their edges. So I think that is everything for my lovely group number ones. So we, your person and I, we are gonna end this reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and definitely check out our lovely winter bundle. Thank you so much to Tarot Stack as well for collaborating with me, and thank you so much to the creators of these amazing decks. If you guys like this bundle, it will be linked down below, or if you want to check out an individual deck, you can actually see every single card in the deck on Tarot Stack's website. So if you want to take a look through all of them to see how you resonate with it, you can do that with the links below. But remember, if you do get the bundle, you can get 10% off with the code KINO. So what else do I say? If you enjoy my content and you would like to find me elsewhere, you can find me on Instagram. I post regular pick a card readings there as well. You can find me on Patreon, where we have more than 50 exclusive pick a card readings to date, plus 2 new ones every month, and you guys get to choose the topic for those. You can find me on my music channel. The song that you guys just heard, well, you heard it a while ago if you made it to this point. The song that you guys heard at the start of this video, the that is an original song. So if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, you can do so over on my music channel. And finally, we have merch at kinotarot.com, which features the floating temple that floats up and down while that intro song is playing. And that temple is featured on hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It truly means a lot to me. I really appreciate you being here, my lovely group number ones. I'm sending you so much love to your person. Very proud of their progress. And I wish you all the best individually and in this connection as well, whatever you choose to do. And I'm also sending lots of love to your spirit guides and your whole spiritual team, both on earth and in the spirit world. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number twos, so if you guys chose the Mangano Calcite, this is going to be your reading all about messages from your person. So we're going to be using these two decks for your reading today. This is the Mystic Dreams Advanced Tarot, and this is the Inquire Within Oracle. And together they are the KINO Tarot Winter Bundle, which I have curated in collaboration with Tarot Stack. This is my third seasonal bundle that I've done with them, and I'm really excited. I think a lot of you guys have heard of Tarot Stack before, but just in case you haven't yet, they're an online shop that features a wide selection of indie tarot and oracle decks, so you can browse all kinds of decks from different creators in one place. And I love supporting Tarot Stack because 50% of their profits go towards funding independent tarot and oracle deck projects. So they help these creators get their decks printed and published and marketed, get them out there into the world. And they actually just released their first indie project recently, and they have more in the works, which I'm very excited for. So this bundle is going to be linked down below for you guys, as well as the individual decks. If you'd like to check them out, you can actually see every single card in the deck on Tarot Stack's website. So if one or both of these decks resonate with you, you can get them from the links down below. And if you do get the bundle, you can get 10% off with the code KINO. So without further ado, let's get into your reading. We're going to start off with your tarot deck. And I'm going to pull three cards, like 2 rows of 3 cards. There could be 3 different messages from your person, or it could be one larger message. I will leave that up to them. But the second row at the bottom is going to clarify the top cards. So while I'm shuffling right now, just keep the person on your mind. Okay, whoa, wow. So we have the Seeker of Chalices, which came out very quickly. This is the Page of Cups. What does group number 2's person want to tell them? We have the Two of Pentacles. Okay, I'll take these together. So this is the Seeker of Pentacles, which is the Page of Pentacles, and then we have the Three of Cups. So these are our 3 cards at the top. And then let's get a row to clarify as well. To clarify the Page of Cups, we have the Ten of Pentacles, to clarify the Two of Pentacles, we have the Seeker, which is the Fool, and to clarify the Page of Pentacles and the Three of Cups, we have the Ten of Wands. Okay, so let's see. With the Seeker here, this is the Fool. We have some Aquarius energy. And then with the Page of Cups and the Page of Pentacles, this is Earth sign and water sign energy. So here we have Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Here we have Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So if your person has placements under these signs, it could be a confirmation for you that this is in fact your group. If not, that's totally fine. But what I will say right off the bat is that I feel a very warm, sweet, and fuzzy kind of energy from this person or from their soul. So if this is not a person who makes you feel warm and fuzzy, this is probably not your group, because like this energy is just it feels very sweet to me. It feels very adorable to me. I think that the soul of this person is very pure and very innocent. Either they are a younger soul or they're just a very youthful soul. Like they still have that childlike wonder towards life, no matter how old they are or no matter how old their soul is. I mentioned in the intro that this doesn't necessarily have to be a person, and before I started filming I could hear my neighbor's dog barking. He's really, really cute. He's a little Shiba. I think his name is Chico. And I don't know, for some of you guys, a dog might be coming through in this reading to send you some love. But let's take a look at the cards that we have here. So we're starting off with the Page of, also a car just honked outside. Whoever this is, they definitely communicate to you a lot through little signs and synchronicities, especially sounds, I think, because just for this group, we're like, what, 5-6 minutes in, there's been a dog and there's been a car horn. So they might punctuate or confirm thoughts or feelings that you have with sounds out there in your waking world, waking life. So you know, if you're having a certain thought about them or a certain thought about the connection and they want to really emphasize it or confirm that for you, they might send a little sound to like, boop, to wake you up in your everyday life. Or they could send you sounds. Why am I having such a hard time talking? They could send you messages through music, like through the lyrics of a song or through the way that music makes you feel. But I think that this person's soul is very chatty. I think that their higher self is trying to get your attention all the time, especially to give you confirmation that you're on the right track, that this thing that you're thinking or feeling is important, and also to give you confirmation that they're here with you and everything's gonna be okay. So, okay, cards. We have the Page of Cups, which is clarified by the 10 of Pentacles. Usually when we have the Page of Cups, it indicates a sort of puppy love energy, like this person feels very lovey-dovey about you. It can also indicate that this person wants to bring you an offer, but I'm hearing that they feel a little bit silly doing it. With the 10 of Pentacles under this, there's a feeling of this person wanting to get their life together or wanting to get more advanced in their life or wanting to have something more stable to offer you, because it's almost like right now what they feel they can offer you is just emotion. It's just an intention. It's just the way they feel, but they want to offer you something that is more tangible, more stable. So an example of this, there's actually a couple examples that I can think of. One would be like, let's say this person is wanting to spend their life with you. So their intention is like, I want to support you, I want to protect you, I want to provide for you. These are all feelings and intentions that they have, but they might not have the means to do that right now. Maybe their career is uncertain, or they don't have a stable income yet, or their living situation is not how they want it to be. So they're like, I have all of the emotion is there, all of the love is there, all of the intention is there, but I want to back that up with something that is tangible in this world, so that I feel like I can offer you something real that is not just like an empty promise. So this might be someone who has feelings for you but wants to, you know, get their job in order first, or get their living situation in order first, or tie up some loose ends first. And then another example that I thought of is someone who wants to serenade you. Kind of a different example, but they want to write you a song to let you know how much they love you, but they're like, my singing is shit. And they don't want it to just be like, oh, well, it's the thought that counts. Oh, it's the sentiment that counts. So even if my singing is bad, it'll be okay. They're like, no, group number 2 deserves top tier singing. So I'm gonna go to singing lessons, and I'm gonna learn music theory, and I'm gonna buy myself a guitar so that I can go and serenade group number 2 the way they deserve to be. So they don't want to just offer feelings. They really want to back it up with actions and with 3D proof, and really get themselves ready and get their ducks in a row so that they can give you what you deserve. And some of you might feel like, oh, but just the emotion makes me happy. Just the sentiment is good enough for me. But I feel like for them, it's not enough. They're like, no, group 2 deserves more. So I'm preparing. I'm going to build up myself and build up my life so that I can be what they deserve. Because with the 10 of Pentacles, this is really like, you deserve it all. The 10 of Pentacles is everything that you need to feel stable and secure in the world. So I feel like what we're seeing here, what this person wants you to know, is that they care a great deal about you. In some cases, I even want to say they love you. They have very, very sweet feelings towards you and want to make you an offer. But at this time, they feel like what they have to offer you is like not enough, or it's not big enough. And it's really important to them that they give you an offer that is like substantial. So they're working at it right now. They're building themselves up right now. Moving on, we have the 2 of Pentacles, which is clarified by the Seeker. So the 2 of Pentacles, which is clarified by the Fool. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense that we have the 2 of Pentacles here, because this makes me think of equals. Like, both people are bringing in their pentacle. Both people are bringing something to the table. I feel like this is someone who is really concerned with being your equal. When I got into this reading, I felt that the energy was very, very sweet, and I do stand by that. I think this person is incredibly sweet and has wonderful intentions towards you. As I get a little bit more into the energy, what I would say I'm kind of concerned about is if this person kind of puts you on a pedestal in some ways. It's amazing that they're lifting you up. I love that for you. You should be lifted the F up. That is what you deserve. But it's almost as if they lift you up to the point that they perceive you as out of their reach, or as, you know, untouchable in some way, or like inaccessible in some way. And so that's where I feel like there might be a little bit of frustration. And it's not like you're frustrated at them, but just with the situation, because some of you might be feeling like, I'm not inaccessible. I'm right here. Like, I'm available for you. I want to get closer to you. But they have this idea in their mind of like, no, I need to work harder. No, I need to get better. What they might be doing is what a lot of us do when we have a dream we want to pursue. You know, we might say, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel, but I'm going to wait until I have better equipment. Or I want to be a tarot reader, but I'm going to wait until I have more knowledge. Yes, we should definitely prepare ourselves to pursue our dreams, but it reaches a point where we have to just go for it. We have to just start, because it almost, at some point, it becomes like an excuse to enable our fears. And I don't know exactly where this person's at. For some of you, they might really be making reasonable preparations. For others, they might be like enabling their own fears, or just holding themselves back, or putting you on a pedestal. They might have these ideas in their mind of, I need to become better at this. I need to have more money. I need to have more blank. I need to be more blank. When it's really just creating more and more barriers for a meaningful connection. I just look at how these pentacles are uneven. One of them is higher than the other. And so, yeah, they may be like putting you up higher And you could be doing the same thing at the same time. This can definitely happen both ways, where both parties are putting each other on a pedestal and feeling like they're not equals, when the thing is that they have been equals this whole time. And we have we have the Seeker underneath, which is the Fool. So I do think that this is, and I want to say your guides, because I think that you guys have some shared spirit guides. I think you're kind of under the same umbrella of divine guidance and divine protection. So this could be a soul family thing that we have going on. But they're not calling you fools, but I think they're saying it's a little bit silly because you guys are equals and you have so much to offer each other already. But I think both of you kind of do this a little bit where you think that the other is like better than you in some way or out of your league in some way, when it's just not the case. Like, you're both in the highest league. You are both in, I'm sorry for my language, but like, you're both already in the bad bitch league. You're both already amazing. You know, the two court cards that we have are both pages. Pages both on the same level. I think that you guys are both pages. With page being the lowest or the least evolved of the court cards, this could be indicating that your connection is still in its early stages in terms of the potential of what it can be. So even if you guys are quite close right now, I think this is your guides, your shared guides, saying that there's still so much more to explore and so much more to experience together. You're really just scratching the surface. I think it's also indicating that both of you are at very exciting stages of your life. You're in a beginning stage where you have a ton of growth and a ton of potential ahead of you. But yeah, it's like, and I mean, it's really sweet that you look at each other and see like, wow, they're so amazing, but it shouldn't come at the cost of being like, they're so amazing and I'm just a little potato. No, you are both amazing. And you are both little potatoes that are going to grow into something so incredible together. We have earth and water energy here. You guys don't have to be earth and water signs, but just know that earth and water energy complements each other very, very well. You guys go very, very well together. We have the Fool as well, which it can indicate so many different things. It can indicate unexpected adventures, unexpected opportunities coming your way. I think that, okay, this reading is messages from your person, but I feel your spirit guides coming through a lot. You and your person definitely have the same spirit guides, or some of your spirit guides are the same. They are supporting both of you on this journey to feel confident and to feel empowered and to feel worthy of everything that your heart desires, which includes each other. And I think that what they have in the works is surprise opportunities for both of you that will help you to see how capable you truly are and how amazing you truly are. So the advice that I can give you both right now is to be open to these opportunities and to recognize them as yours and to take them. Please go for them, even if you are a little bit afraid, because the doors that they will open for you is just beyond your wildest dreams. And I think specifically this has to do with job offers, with invitations to collaborate on a project, invitations to be featured or interviewed somewhere, or to go and share your expertise. These are all things that you could feel like, oh no, I'm not ready for that. I'm not knowledgeable enough for that. I'm not skilled enough for that. But take them, because these are opportunities sent directly from your spirit guides. Because it's like, how can we prove to you that you're amazing? We need to show you tangible proof. So go and do this thing, and I promise you, you will see for yourself how you knock it out of the park. We want to give you, because that's how you gain confidence, right? Through repetition. So this is like your guide saying, we want to give you more and more and more opportunities to try your hand at the things that you like, at the things that you want to pursue, so that you can see how freaking good at it you already are and gain more confidence. And as you gain more confidence, you will feel more worthy for more blessings. And I just feel like once these insecurities go away, you'll realize that both of you will realize that you were always equals. Always. Even if you're good at different things, that's what makes life interesting. We're all good at different things. And your guides are saying that you don't gain confidence like in a bubble. You have to really show yourself what you're made of. How can you get confident about your public speaking skills if you don't go out and public speak? So they want to give you this chance to really see yourself shine. I also think there's something going on here. We spoke about, earth. Earth and water are very different, but they're very complementary energies. And I think that the two of you might judge yourselves based on the standards of what the other person is good at. I hope that makes sense. So to make it easier to understand, let's say we have these two counterparts and one of them is very, very good at intellectual stuff, big brain. And then one of them is very athletic, they're very good at physical stuff. Then this would be the intellectual person saying oh, I'm so weak, I'm so scrawny, I'm so clumsy, my counterpart will never like me. And then the athletic person is saying, oh, I'm so dumb, I'm such an airhead, I'm so spacey, my counterpart will never like me. And it's you have these different abilities for a reason, and embrace your natural skills, your natural talents, your natural qualities. That's what makes you beautifully and uniquely you. And you have, I want to whisper this because it's a little spoiling a surprise kind of thing, or maybe you already knew, but you have these different skill sets for a reason so that you can come together and collaborate and make something even greater. Two people with the exact same skill set and the exact same knowledge and the exact same experience, yeah, they can come together and make something pretty awesome probably. But imagine if you have completely different skill sets and knowledge. That means you have twice as much to work with. So when you come together, you can make something even greater. These differences are there for a reason, and it's kind of sad and, as your guides lovingly say, kind of silly to look over at your counterpart and say, I need to be more like them to be worthy. I need to be more like them so that they would look my way, or be good at the same things as them. So yeah, I think this really became messages from your guides because I think it's really important for you guys to know this. So next we have the Page of Pentacles, which is clarified by the Three of Cups. Or no, Page of Pentacles and Three of Cups clarified by the Ten of Wands. I think when we have a Three of Cups clarified by a Ten of Wands, this is don't go at this alone. You are, this is the message from your person. It's either you are working too hard, you are carrying too much of a burden by yourself, you're biting off more than you can chew. They're saying, I hope you know it's okay to slow down. I hope you know it's okay to ask for help. I hope you know it's okay to take breaks. I hope you know it's okay to admit when you're struggling and admit when you're not okay. You don't have to put on this brave face all the time. There's so many people around you who love you and who want to help you, if only you would open up to it. And I'm having a little bit of a spacey moment right now, don't mind me. This tends to happen when there's a lot of guides around or when the presence of spirit guides is very, very strong. So you could definitely have a very large spiritual team helping you. That makes a lot of sense as well. Like, if you have such a big spiritual team, there's no need to take on all of these burdens on your own. I think that, yeah, this is just messages from your spirit guides, messages from your spiritual team. They want you to ask them for help more, or when you're struggling or when you're feeling burdens in your everyday life, to let them carry that burden or to pass it over to them. Whatever it might be, no matter how big or small. I also want to tell you guys, I think elephants are a significant spirit animal. So I'm going to check in my spirit animal book. This is the cover, by the way. Sometimes you guys ask me what the book is and I forget to tell you. So this is it. And I know we have an elephant in here. Yes. Here is your elephant. It's on page 105 and 106. In case that's relevant for you guys, it could be dates like October 5th, October 6th, January 5th, January 6th, or May 1st, May 10th, June 1st, June 10th. Okay. Make it a point to be of service in some way to the young, elderly, or those less fortunate than yourself. Do not let anything stand in the way of attaining this goal that is so integral to your purpose. You have the determination and persistence required to overcome the current challenges that you're faced with. Trust your senses, and if something in your life smells bad, take the necessary action to do away with it. Remain loyal to those closest to you in spite of anyone questioning their integrity. It's a good time to renew your sense of connectedness to the divine. Okay. You guys have... I feel like your energy is scattered a bit right now. You have more energy than you think in you. You have more drive in you than you think, and you have more focus in you than you think. But right now it's being scattered into different places. And I feel like a distraction in some way. This group has a very significant and defined life purpose. And I want to confirm to you guys that the thing that you love, the thing that you gravitate towards, that is your life purpose. And it's time to stop. It's just time to stop debating that, okay? That is your purpose. That is what will make your soul the happiest. And you are worthy of taking up space in that field. Like, let's just lay that on the table right now and make that very, very clear. That is your place. This group struggles, I think, with feeling worthy for the things that they want, and even like an imposter syndrome when it comes to pursuing their desired path. And I just keep hearing something like, let's just put this to rest right now. Like, this path is meant for you. This path is your purpose. So this is like your goal here, and this is you. And you have everything it takes to reach this goal. You have all of the energy, like physical energy, mental energy, spiritual energy. You have all that it takes, but it's like your energy gets scattered into a bunch of different places. Like distractions. It's almost like you're carrying a backpack and there's a hole in it and sand is falling out of it. Like your energy is going somewhere else. And I can't help but think that it's being drained by other people. I think that this group might have a bit of poor boundaries going on where we're giving away a lot of our energy to help other people when they can actually help themselves, or like to hold space for connections that are not really serving us in any way. It feels like you're giving and giving and giving, and then there's no energy left over to give to your passion, to give to your calling, to give to like your dream career path or your dream creative path. Now, it's kind of coming full circle because for some of you, this might be a relatively easy fix of like, oh my gosh, I am doing that. I need to start establishing better boundaries. And yeah, that is a difficult thing to enact, but it's simple, right? Oh, I just need to establish better boundaries. I just need to preserve my energy. But I think that many of you guys are subconsciously doing this because you're afraid of putting all your energy into your passion. So this is your passion, this is you, these are all the distractions. It's like you give all your energy to these distractions so that you can say, oh, look at that, I don't have any more time or energy for my passion. Or at least that's what your ego is sneakily doing. The conscious you might feel like, oh, I'm so frustrated, like I never seem to have time or energy to pursue my passion, to do what I really want. This sucks. It does suck. But it's like, are you maybe sneakily giving away this energy so that we don't have to do the very scary thing of taking a leap of faith and putting everything we have into our passion? And the reason I say it comes full circle is because I think your person is doing this a little bit when it comes to the connection with you. It's like excuses are being made to stop us from going after what we really want. I think your person makes excuses to themselves why they're not ready for you, why they need to prepare more for you. I'll do it once I have enough this. I'll do it once I'm this enough. And I also see a bit of that going on here. Like, I'll pursue my passion when I have enough time and energy. But it's like, who's giving away your time and energy? And maybe it's kind of a harsh message, but after reading that elephant passage, I kind of feel like that's what is coming through. I think we need to be very selective about our social circle and who we give our time to and who we give our energy to. Because I feel like there's some people in your life, you're pouring into the cups of people who have a hole in their cup. And it is not your job to fix their cup or to replace their cup. And we have to make that call of like, I'm happy to pour my cup into others. Like, I'm happy to give my love, but until you fix your cup, this is just going to drain both of us. Meaning, I think there's some connections in your larger social circle that we need to sever ties. Because the 10 of Wands is like you're giving and giving and giving and nothing's happening. And the 3 of Cups has to do with like our friendships, our community. And I just think, and I'm trying not to be harsh, but it feels like there's some petty things that are taking you away from your focus, that are taking you away from what really matters. And it's like you're giving. The reason you feel depleted is not because of how much energy you're giving, it's because of where you're giving your energy. Because there's no exchange happening. And it's like your person and your spiritual team are like, we can see how tired you are because this is not in alignment. Like, your energy is not supposed to go here. Fuel energy into what you're passionate about, and then that passion will take on a life of its own and fuel so many others. It's like, this is what you're doing right now is not the most efficient way to give people energy or to heal people or to help people. We saw in the elephant passage that yes, you are very much meant to serve and help and heal others, but go about it in a way that also fuels you in the process. That means doing what you're really passionate about and letting that work inspire and help people. Everyone has their own unique way of how they're meant to be a light worker and how they're meant to fill others' cups. And when we try to go about filling others' cups in a way that is not natural to us, it can be very exhausting. It's like, you know, the classic a fish trying to climb a tree, or like a freaking, I don't know, something else trying to fly that doesn't fly. I think this reading is really all about embracing what comes to you naturally, embracing who you are naturally, not trying to be something else for others, and definitely not trying to be something else for your person, because you never had to be. Like, you're both beautiful in your own way and you're both amazing. And when you realize this, I feel like so many barriers to your union just dissolve. So, okay, let's look at your Inquire Within Oracle now. Okay, we have, whoa! Holy crap! Being yourself is sacred. That's like a mic drop. Okay. And I love that we have the intertwining DNA. This is just giving me divine counterpart vibes between you and your person. I know that this reading, and I kind of feel bad, like this reading was not much about messages from your person, because I feel like you just really needed to know more about this connection and needed more reassurance about this connection. Woo. Oh, I have support, which is exactly what your spiritual team was saying. I think you and your person have a ton of spirit guides. I think you have at least 8 who are constantly watching over you, like it is their job to be your guide. And I do think that you share a lot of your spirit guides, and they are always here to fiercely support you no matter what. I feel like you also have guides who are, it's like the word heritage is coming to my mind. So for example, like if you had indigenous heritage, then you might have like indigenous guides, or if you have like African heritage, you might have African guides. It's like something about your roots, something about your heritage, like these beings with that energy are guiding over you. And if you were to go back to like the place where your ancestors came from, which I realize might be kind of all over the place, but if you were to go back to a place where your ancestors came from, I think you would feel it. Like you would feel something surging through you, almost like going to, I think it's called a power spot, or a power spot on earth where like the energy is really strong. But yeah, all of that to say, you have almost like a fiercely loving family on the other side who is guiding over you. Your ancestors are watching over you, and your person's ancestors are also watching over you. It's the equivalent of like, you know, to put it in earth words, like your parents loving them and their parents loving you, and like your families merging together. Yeah, so many. This is not a message from one person. This is a message from tons of loving beings. I love that. The whole gang came. We have notice predictable rhythms. So You are being communicated with through repeated signs and synchronicities in your life. Take notice of them, acknowledge them, validate them to yourself. If you are noticing patterns, it's for a reason. If you're seeing the same number over and over, it's for a reason. If you're seeing the same image over and over, it is for a reason. Please take notice of it. And if you're wondering what does it mean, look it up or ask your guides, because the same sign can mean something different for different people. You know, two different people could be seeing 1111, but their guides are giving them a different message. So, and again, it sounds kind of harsh, but it's like, figure it out, look into it, because it does mean something. And finally, wow, cultivate stillness. Yeah, you can do less and your guides can do more. They're saying like, we're huge. And maybe that's why elephants came through, because elephants are pretty huge and they're pretty old and wise. Your guides are saying, with all due respect, we're bigger than you, we're older than you, we're wiser than you. And we can take it. We can take on your burdens. We can take on your struggles. Please, like, let us help you. Let us carry this weight for you. Because again, you got to focus your energy on your passion. You got to focus your energy on what really matters, what you really love. And just let us take care of the rest. You can literally be like, spirit guide, this is annoying. I don't want to deal with this energy. I literally did that last night. I asked my guide, I was like, because I was feeling kind of in a petty energy. I don't know if I should be saying this, but there were these people who were really annoying me, but at the same time, I recognized that they needed love and compassion, and like they really needed to heal. So I said, Spirit guide, can you please send these people love? Because I know I can't. I'm too annoyed. Like my human self is too annoyed. So please, Spirit guide, send them healing energy, send them love, give them that compassion that they need to see the light. And I'm going to be over here being annoyed about it. So if you ever feel like the burden is too much, like, man, being like an awakened, all love and light spiritual person is hard sometimes, and dealing with the struggles of daily life is hard sometimes, and we can always ask our guides for help. At the bottom of the deck, it is within reach. I really love this image because it reminds me of what I was doing before. Like, this is you, this is your goal, and look at how close it is. and it is within reach. It doesn't have to be perfect. Oh my God. What were we literally talking about? So this is a message for you pursuing your goal. And it's a message for your person too, because they are putting you out of their reach and saying, I have to be perfect. I have to get my life perfect, exactly how I want it to be before I'm allowed to be happy, before I'm allowed to go after what I want. I think both of you kind of employ this mindset in different ways in your lives, and your guides are saying, let's stop that. Let's shut that down. Everything you want is within reach. You're already worthy of it, and you do not have to be perfect to be worthy of it. You don't have to be perfectly healed to be worthy of love. You don't have to perform something perfectly to be worthy of performing. You don't have to have a skill completely mastered to be able to use that skill in a way that helps others. This perfectionism is just enabling you to shy away from what you really want. There's no perfect time to go for it. Okay, my group number 2s. This reading was a ride. We got the whole family here. So these are all the messages. Well, a little bit your person at the start, and then the spiritual team who took over. They come with you always. They are a package deal. They're always here You have so much love. You have so much love. It's crazy. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. It was really beautiful. And there were some little bits in it that I needed to hear too. So thank you for choosing me to be your channel and for allowing me to sit in on that beautiful meeting, that beautiful exchange between you and your person and your spiritual team. It's an honor to do this reading for you, and thank you to Tarot Stack for allowing me to collaborate with you again, and thank you so much to the creators of these amazing decks. It's been such a pleasure using them together. I think they just go so stunningly well together. If you guys enjoyed this bundle, it will be linked down below, and like I mentioned before, you can also check out the individual decks. You can see every single card in the deck. If you want to see how it resonates with you and really get a full view of it before making a commitment, you can look through them on Tarot Stack's website. So I'm going to link both the bundle and the individual decks down below. But if you do choose to get the bundle, remember that you can get 10% off with the code KINO. And thank you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can find me on Instagram. I post regular pick a card readings there too. You can find me on Patreon. So far, we have over 50 exclusive pick a card readings on there, plus 2 new ones every month, and you guys get to choose the topic for those. You can find me on my music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song. So if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, you can do so over on my music channel. And finally, we have merch at kinotarot.com, which features the floating temple that's at the start of the videos. And we have that on hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags. So yes, that is a lot of stuff. All that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment of this video. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It truly means a lot to me. I really appreciate your support. Group number 2s, I am sending endless love to you, to your person, to your whole spiritual team. Such a pleasure to meet you or get to know you more if you're a regular on this channel. Thank you, by the way. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 3s. So if you guys chose the Caribbean Calcite, this is going to be a reading all about messages from the person on your mind. So we're going to be using these 2 decks for your reading today. Here we have the Mystic Dreams Advanced Tarot, and here we have the Inquire Within Oracle. And together, these 2 decks are the KINO Tarot Winter Bundle, which is a bundle that I've curated in collaboration with Tarot Stack. This is my 3rd seasonal bundle that I've done with them, and I'm really, really excited. I think a lot of you guys have heard of Tarot Stack already, but just in case you haven't, they're an online shop that features a wide selection of indie tarot and oracle decks, so you can browse all kinds of decks from different creators in one place. And I love supporting Tarot Stack because 50% of their profits go towards funding indie tarot and oracle deck projects. So they help these independent deck creators get their decks printed and published and marketed and get them out there into the world. They actually just released their first indie deck project recently, and they have more in the works. I'm really excited and really happy for them, and I'm just so grateful for what they do for our community. So thank you, Tarot Stack, if you're watching. I'm gonna have this bundle linked down below for you guys if you like the way it looks in the reading and you want to look into it more. Both the individual decks and the bundle are going to be linked down below for you. And if you do get the bundle, you can get 10% off using the code KINO. So without further ado, let's get into your reading. We're going to start off with the tarot. And I'm going to be pulling 3 cards to start off. It could be 3 different messages from your person, or it could be 1 bigger message. I'll leave it up to them. And then we're going to pull a second row of 3 cards below that to clarify. Woo! One thing that's coming right away, if this is someone you haven't heard from in a while, the reason is it's like the reason is nowhere near as bad as you think. And actually, the example that came to my mind is like, you haven't heard from someone in a while and you're like, oh my gosh, they lost interest in me, or they don't want to talk to me, or you're thinking of all these things and it's actually just like, oh, I lost my phone, or like, oh, I didn't have internet. It's something kind of silly like that, that has nothing to do with how much they want to talk to you. Even if it's a spirit guide, it's like, oh no, I have been sending you messages, but maybe they got, like, it's like they ended up in your spam folder, or it's some dumb little hiccup that made it so that you couldn't communicate. But in that absence, your mind might have been wandering to some worse reasons. I hope that that makes sense. Or like they've been texting the wrong number or something like that. Okay, so what does group number 3's person want to tell them? I just saw 333, and you guys are group number 3. So we're starting off with the Ace of Wands. Then we have, this is the, whoa, this is the Nine of Wands. And then we have the Seeker of Swords, which is the Page of Swords. And let's just go ahead and get our clarifiers. So to clarify the Ace of Wands, we have the Eight of Pentacles. To clarify the Nine of Wands, we have Sacred Wisdom, and this is the High Priestess. Ooh. And finally, to clarify the Page of Swords, we have the Fates, which is the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so we're gonna start with the Ace of Wands clarified by the Eight of Pentacles, and there's actually 2 different interpretations that are coming to my mind, so please feel free to claim either or both of them. But what actually came to my mind first is that this person, whoever this is, there's something that they want you to keep at, like they want you to keep going. They're saying, don't give up. And I think it has something to do with like an educational goal or a career goal or a skill of yours or something that you're interested in. They're saying, don't give up on this, because the inspiration that you feel from this thing is very special. The spark is very special, and this needs to be treasured. And it's no accident that you stumbled across this thing or that you stumbled across this path. There's some element of fate involved, and you have an affinity for this thing. You're actually very good at it. And with practice and with repetition, you can make it into something amazing. So this person is in full support of your goals and in full support of the things that you want to pursue. And they're coming in to say, like, just keep at it, just keep going. Even if you don't see results right away, just keep putting in that effort. These 2 cards together actually are a really beautiful combination. We have a number 1 and a number 8, which is like taking action to create abundance, creating your own luck, new beginnings that bring you abundance. So this person's higher self, or for some of you, this is a guide. There's that kind of spirit guidey energy. Or this could be that the person on your mind's higher self is a spirit guide for you. They're guiding you through your life. But I'm getting the feeling this person knows the future. At least their soul that is coming through kind of knows the future, kind of has a heads up of what's going to happen. And they see you being very, very successful. And they really believe in your potential. So they're saying, please, this flame that you feel, this spark that you feel, this inspiration, please cradle that and nurture that and grow it by putting in consistent effort and by practicing. Because you can turn this into something really, really amazing. This is giving me cheerleader energy, supporter energy, your biggest fan kind of energy. They really, really want to see you succeed. And so they're saying, keep going, keep at it. I believe in you, and you should believe in yourself too. Now, the other interpretation of this, and I think this will be more so for those of you who are thinking of a romantic interest, is they just want to reassure to you that the way they feel about you is so much more than just chemistry, or it's so much more than just physical attraction. It's so much more than just a spark or a fling. Yes, the spark is there, the attraction is there, but it goes deeper than that. And they want to reaffirm that to you. They want to make sure you know that. Because with the Eight of Pentacles clarifying this, this is like, I'm willing to put in the work to sustain this flame. I don't want this to be just like a one and done thing, or just like a spark that goes out, or just casual. Like, I want it to be something more. And I'm willing to put in the work in myself and in the connection that we have to make it last. So in both different interpretations, there is that feeling of like sustaining a spark and keeping it going through the actions and the work that you put in. So that's kind of the overall theme of these two cards together. It can be interpreted in a couple of different ways, but that's what I see for the first message. So then moving on, we have the Nine of Wands, which is clarified by the High Priestess. And again, this is a don't give up message. I think with the Nine of Wands, you guys are very much closer to a breakthrough, closer to the achievement of a goal, or the manifestation of a desire than you realize. You are literally right on the precipice of having this breakthrough and manifesting what you want. You're in the home stretch. And so with the Nine of Wands, we often get this message of just hang in there a little longer and don't give up on how far you've come. It would be like running a marathon, which is, I think, like 42 kilometers or something, and you only have 1 kilometer left and giving up. It's like, you've come so far, just give her like one more little push and you will be at the finish line. Like, it's nothing. What's 1 more kilometer? Like, that's the way it's kind of coming through. So it could have to do with this path, with this goal that you're working on. They're like, you've come so much farther than you've realized, and it would break my heart to see you give up. This person has so much selfless love for you. They just want to see you succeed and thrive and be happy and see how amazing you are. For some of you, this could be like a family member or a loved one who's on the other side. But they have this knowing of what you're going to do. So it's either like someone on the other side who sees the future, or if it's someone on earth, they see your potential so hard. They see what you're capable of so hard. And I think this person wants you to know how much they look up to you. They think you're really cool. I just had this image of someone much older than you, and you might think that they're like, oh, that young little rascal doesn't know anything. But they're like, no, I think you're so freaking cool. What you're doing is so amazing. Whatever the case might be, this person believes in you so much. Sometimes they might even believe in you more than you believe in yourself. And they want nothing more than for you to believe in yourself. And I'm getting very emotional when I talk about this. This person is so proud of you, it could literally bring a tear to their eye. And I just heard, like, if you believe in yourself, then my work here is done. If you're confident in yourself, then like I can die happily because that's all I want. Like I just want to see you happy because that's my happiness. It's a really strong love that is coming through. And anyway, the message here is that they see how far you've come, and it would be such a shame to like give up at this point. It's interesting too how this one wand is sticking out from the rest. I think they want you to know how truly special you are and how truly unique you are. You really do stand out from the crowd. You really do blow your competition out of the water, if that's even the expression. And I also think they're saying that no one has ever made them feel such love and joy and sunshine. Like there is truly no one like you. No one else comes close. If this is a romantic interest and you sometimes are like jealous or worry about other people in the picture, there is no one else, and no one else comes close to how you make this person feel. You are kind of like, in some ways, you are kind of like their favorite or their most precious person. With the High Priestess here, this is a message to trust in your intuition, but I think it also talks about things going on behind the scenes. So from where you're standing, maybe it doesn't look this way. Maybe it doesn't look like you're almost there. Maybe it doesn't look like you're on the precipice of a big breakthrough or this big wish coming true. It might look like you're not getting anywhere. It might look like you still have ages and miles to go. But they see what you don't see. There's things going on behind the scenes that you don't see yet. But if you did see them, you would recognize how close you are to this goal. And I think that there's a whisper in your heart that tells you. Well, your third eye can see it. That's what gives you that spark. That's what gives you that excitement, because your third eye can see what is in store for you. And they're saying, like, if you ever doubt yourself, if you ever doubt where you're going, let me be that whisper for you that reminds you how far you've come, that reminds you how close you are to everything you've wanted. You're closer than you think. Because what's happening beneath the surface, what's happening in other realms, I even want to say, the divine orchestration that's happening for you, you're like an inch away. And I could also interpret this as it pertains to your connection with this person. Like you're very close to having a breakthrough with them. And they're asking you to keep trusting in that, because I think deep down you feel it. Like you feel that something big is coming. But then when you look around you physically, there's not really signs that something big is coming. So you're just left with this feeling, with this inkling. And sometimes it feels really exciting and hopeful. And sometimes it feels like, am I crazy? Like, why do I feel like this if there's nothing to suggest that? But they want to confirm to you that you are right, that big things are coming. I just looked up and saw 1616. In this deck, card number 16 is divine intervention. So even if it looks like nothing's happening, divine intervention in your life can change things in a split second. And they want to remind you of that. Now, we have the Page of Swords, which is clarified by the Fates. I think that this person truly believes it's fate that you should be in each other's lives. They definitely don't take your presence for granted. And I honestly feel like if this is a spiritual person, they definitely are constantly grateful to a higher power that they found you, or that they can be with you, or that you're in their life, or even just that they got the chance to meet you and be on the same world as you. I'm also hearing like you have my friendship. No matter what happens, no matter what shape our connection may take, you have my friendship. I think that this person is very curious about your connection because they do feel a destiny about it, and they do feel that there's something special about it. And so it's like they spend a lot of time thinking about it, or they may have even been researching about it. So, for example, in the case that this is like a romantic situation, they feel that there's something different about you, like we've spoken about. No one comes close. You're very much set apart from the rest. They never felt this way before, and it's kind of unusual, right? What is this feeling? This is new. This experience is new. And so, just for an example, this would be a person, Googling about the things that they're feeling and experiencing. Maybe Googling about soulmates, or maybe asking around to people in their life. Have you ever felt this way before? Is it normal to feel this way? So they definitely talk about you, or talk about the connection that they're experiencing to the people around you, and try to know more about it. Because the Page of Swords, first of all, the page is the lowest of the court cards. So there's this level of inexperience, and there's this level of innocence and naivety. And seeker, right? They're seeking for knowledge, for clarity, for answers. That's what swords are. And the Page of Swords is very curious. And the Page of Swords wants straightforward answers. So I think your person spends a lot of time like, what is this connection? Like, what does this mean? And with Wheel of Fortune also talking about signs and synchronicities, they're definitely very curious about those too. So this is someone who is tuned in. Even if they don't really understand what's going on, they're tuned in. They know there's something up with you and with the connection. They see signs and synchronicities, and they want to know more about what it means. And they're actively searching for those answers. We saw 3D, that's not how you say that, 333 at the start of this reading, and you guys are group number 3. So one thing that this person might see is like repeating numbers when they think about you, or repeating numbers that they have an inkling is guiding towards you. So they would be searching like, what does 333 mean? What does 1111 mean? They're looking into it. They're into it. They're researching it. And they're talking about you. I think that this person has told people in their circle or people close to them that they feel some element of fate with you, or that they feel something special, or that they can't move on from you, or that there's no one like you. They're very curious about the connection, and they're very vocal about the connection. And I think just in general, they talk about you a lot because of how amazing they find you and how proud of you they are, like how proud they are to know you. They definitely want you to know that. Okay, what a nice energy. It's a fun energy. So we are gonna look at the Inquire Within Oracle deck now and see what other messages or guidance this person might have for you. What else does group number 3's person want to say to them? It's okay to feel feelings. It's interesting that a lot of the stuff that's coming out, I get specifically 2 ways of interpreting it. Like it's coming in 2s. And that's kind of making me think that Gemini energy could be significant. Because like Gemini is the twins. Gemini is like duality. On one hand, they might be straight up telling you this message. It's okay to feel how you feel. Your feelings are valid. But I also think that they want you to know that they're acknowledging the feelings they have towards you, and they're validating the feelings they have towards you. They understand that there's something deeper going on, and they're not dismissing it. They're not dismissing the way they feel, the signs that they see. They're very interested in and invested in the connection with you and how they experience it. You too could also have a little bit of like emotional telepathy going on. So they could be coming through to explain. If you ever get a sudden emotion that feels kind of intense or kind of out of place or kind of sudden, it could be that you are picking up on my emotions. So if you're just like chilling at home and you get hit with a sudden burst of joy or a sudden burst of nervousness or whatever it might be, and it has nothing to do with your current situation. Sorry, I just had a little burp try to come up. It has nothing to do with your current situation or like, why am I feeling this way? You're probably picking up on them. So they're just coming through to let you know that. Don't be alarmed, it's just me kind of thing. Because like, you see this imagery even, like these branches, it's like they're going into the earth and coming up out on the other side. So it's like their feelings popping up on the other side, aka on your side. And your feelings might pop up on their side as well. And if that's the case, I think that they would be quite aware of it. I think also this is one of those connections where you think about each other at the same time. So if you're thinking about them, it's because they're thinking about you. If you dream about them, it's because they're dreaming about you. Because it's like things pop up in twos. They pop up on both sides. I also think your life journeys mirror each other a lot. Even if physically in the 3D, you're not going through the exact same things. Your emotional and spiritual journeys, I think, are very similar. What else does group number 3's person want to say to them? Inhale, exhale. That's funny. I just thinking also like inhale and exhale comes in twos. Ooh. When I put these two together, there's a feeling of encouraging you to slow down, breathe, and just be present with your emotions. Clarity of mind. Are they suggesting meditation? Because we have like breathing, tuning in, checking in with yourself, gaining clarity in your mind. It almost seems like they're encouraging a mindfulness practice or encouraging you to check in with yourself more. I know how life is. It's very busy. It's very go, go, go. We're always thinking about the next thing that we have to do. But just make sure you take that time to check in and see how you're feeling, see if you need anything. Even set aside a window in your day to do this, even if it's just like 5 minutes, to disconnect from everything and just check in, like, how am I feeling? How's my body feeling? How are my energy levels? How are my emotions? I'm also picturing someone writing this down. Like they have their little daily check-in with themselves. I mean, ideally we do this a few times a day, but life is life and shit's busy. So at the very least, I think they want you to like commit some time just for yourself. I also think with clarity of mind, this could be indicating like they want you to know that they are very clear about how they feel about you, and they're searching for clarity, searching for answers, because like they want to know more about what this connection is and like why they feel the way they do. But it's very clear to me, like it's coming from a place of curiosity and excitement and not like fear. Oh, what is this connection? It's like, ooh, this is cool. This is interesting. And they want to look deeper into it. I think they've just been experiencing things that they've never experienced before since having you in their life. Maybe a little bit of a psychic awakening going on. I don't know. I would not be surprised if they haven't already. If this person like reaches out to pick your brain about spirituality or about like strange experiences they've had that they can't explain. Like, for example, they might text you out of the blue and be like, do you know what astral projection is? Or like, have you ever astral projected before? Or like, hey, what does 1111 mean? It's like they're picking the brain of the very person who's making them feel these things. And I think they're doing it on purpose because they want to like see what you would say. Maybe they're kind of trying to put out a feeler to see if you are having the same experiences as them. So like, oh yeah, this is what I mean. Let me say that better. Let's say this person keeps dreaming about you and they want to know what it means. So they might message you and be like, hey, I just have a question. Do you know what it means when you keep dreaming about the same person? Because like they want to kind of put out that hint and see if you are dreaming about them too, or just see what you say, you know? I hope that makes sense. But really what they're saying is like, hey, I'm dreaming about you a lot and I want to know what it means. Okay, and one more. Woo! Look to nature for healing. That's so funny. Like, I really should learn my lesson, but sometimes like messages to say come to my mind and I just don't say them and then they come out again because I was thinking how these branches kind of look like the blood vessels, I think they are, inside lungs. And then these lungs even kind of look like leaves with these veins going through them. And I wanted to say at that moment when I kind of made that observation, like to look for the interconnectedness in all things. You can even see this eye in the flower petal. And maybe you've seen those images before of someone's eyeball, like their iris, and it looks exactly like a galaxy. And yeah, lungs look exactly like the branches of trees. Yeah, look to nature for healing because I think looking at the patterns in nature reminds you of how divine everything is and how interconnected everything is. I think I told this story before, but a few months ago, I went on a trip to the countryside and it was by the ocean. And then at night, first of all, you can see the stars so much better in the countryside. But then the way the moon was hitting the ocean, it made like a whole blanket of white on the ocean. It was so beautiful. It kind of looked like a big white road leading up to the moon. Just the way the moonlight hit. Oh my God. I was like in a trance. And just looking at the moon and looking at the stars and looking at the ocean, it sounds kind of cheesy, but I kind of realized like this is it. Like this is what matters. The beauty of the world that we live in and like the miracle that I can see things like this. And when we're out and about in our lives stressing about a bunch of shit, the moon and the stars and the ocean are just patiently waiting for us to come back and to come back into alignment with feeling good and feeling at peace and embracing the beauty and being a part of that beauty. I don't know, it's just a really like healing experience for me. And I think about it sometimes. And maybe you'll have a similar experience in nature. All right. Oh, I wanted I wanted to look at the bottom of the deck, but I already shuffled it, so let's just shuffle and pull one more for you guys. Oh, slow change, and then, okay, let's look at the bottom now. Slow change, ooh, and at the bottom, anything you want to find, it's out there somewhere. These are very powerful messages together because you can literally manifest anything you want if you're willing to accept that it's going to take however long it's going to take. Whatever you set out to manifest, it will come true. It's just that some things take longer than others. Some manifestations take 3 minutes, some take 3 years. And everything has, just like different trees take different time to grow, different flowers take different time to bloom. And maybe that's why we were speaking about nature, to kind of set up that analogy. You know, different planets take different time to go around the sun. Different, I don't know if this is accurate, but different stars take different time to form. Don't quote me on that. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but you get the picture. All of these processes in nature are beautiful. I just saw 3333. And time is an illusion anyway, probably. So it's not a question of, will I manifest it? It's just a question of how long it takes and am I willing to wait? And there's no right answer to that. You might not be willing to wait, and that's very fine. But just to know that whatever your heart desires, it's really just a matter of time. It's really just a matter of how long is it going to take to come, because it will. It's not if, it's when. So maybe there's some things that your heart is desiring right now that are a bit slower to come, but that doesn't mean they're not coming. It's just a matter of like, will I see it through to the end kind of thing. I hope that that makes sense. Whatever goals you have, you will achieve them. If you stick to them long enough, eventually you will. So yeah, I think a succinct way to put it is, it's not if, it's when. Yeah. For literally anything. You can manifest literally anything. Yeah. So my group number 3s, these are all the messages that I and your person have for you. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. Thank you very much to your person for coming through for this reading. And thank you very much to Tarot Stack for collaborating with me on this bundle. And thank you so much to the creators of these amazing decks. Like I mentioned before, this bundle is going to be linked down below, as well as the individual decks. You can actually see every single card in the decks on Tarot Stack's website. So if you feel like you might resonate with these decks, but you want to get a better idea of what kind of messages are in them, you can check out every card on Tarot Stack's website. So everything's going to be linked down below. And if you guys do get the bundle, remember that you can get 10% off with the code KINO. So again, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can find me on Instagram. I post regular pick-a-card readings there as well. You can find me on Patreon, where we have more than 50 exclusive pick-a-card readings to date, plus 2 new ones every month, and you get to choose the topic for those. You can find me on my music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, you can do so over on my music channel. And finally, we have merch at kinotarot.com, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video, and we have that on hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags. So yes, that was a lot of stuff, but all of that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It means so much to me, and I truly appreciate you being here. Group number 3s, I'm sending so much love to you, to your person, to your spirit guides, and to your whole spiritual team, both here on earth and in the spirit realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number fours, so if you guys chose the rainbow quartz, this is going to be a reading all about messages from the person on your mind. So we're going to be using these two decks for the reading today. Over here we have the Mystic Dreams Advanced Tarot, and here we have the Inquire Within Oracle. And together these are the KINO Tarot Winter Bundle, which I've curated in collaboration with Tarot Stack. This is the third seasonal bundle that I've made with them, and I'm really excited. I think a lot of you guys have heard of Tarot Stack already, but just in case you haven't, they're an online shop that features a wide selection of indie tarot and oracle decks. So you can browse all kinds of decks from different creators in one place. And I love supporting Tarot Stack because 50% of their profits go towards funding indie tarot and oracle deck projects. So they help independent deck creators get their deck printed, published, marketed out into the world. They actually just released their first indie project recently, and they have more in the works, which I'm really excited for. So I'm very grateful to be able to collaborate with them again for this video. I'm gonna link this bundle down below, so you're gonna see it in action in this reading, and if you think you might resonate with the decks, it will be linked down below, as well as the individual decks. And if you get the bundle, you can get it for 10% off with the code KINO. So with all that being said, let's get into your reading. We're gonna start off with the tarot, our beautiful Mystic Dreams Advanced Tarot. And what I'm gonna do is pull 3 cards to start off the messages from your person. It could be 3 different messages. They could all kind of be about the same thing. I will leave it up to them. And then we're gonna pull another row of 3 cards to clarify. So as I'm shuffling, think about the person on your mind whom you would like to hear from. There is something about fascination or being mesmerized. Like this person is fascinated by you, or fascinated by what you do, or they're mesmerized by you. And there's also a feeling of not being able to keep their eyes off of you, which that can be interpreted in many different ways, right? It could be something like, you're so attractive or you're so captivating to me that I can't take my eyes off you. I find myself looking at you a lot, or I find myself checking up on you a lot. It could also be in a less romantic way. You know, I'm worried about you, so I want to check on you. Or I just think what you're doing is so awesome that I can't stop looking and cheering you on. That can definitely go a lot of different ways, but there's something about being very fascinated, very mesmerized, like looking at you a lot. That is the initial feeling. Yellow and gold colors seem to be significant as well, which could be symbolic of how you make this person feel, like warm, stimulated, bright. For some of you, it could be that they want to gift you something that is gold in color, like accessories, I'm thinking. Or you could have a specific gold accessory from them or that reminds you of them. But let's get a look at some cards now. Group number 4's person. What would you like to tell them? The ocean seems to be significant as well. So you could remind this person of the ocean. There could be an ocean between you. We have Divine Feminine, which is the Empress, and I am not surprised to see this here. We have the 5 of Swords. And the 5 of Pentacles. And then let's go ahead and pull our clarifiers for these 3 cards. So starting off, we're going to clarify the Divine Feminine. And we have the Nine of Cups. Okay. To clarify the Five of Swords. We have the Conqueror of Chalices. So this is the Knight of Cups. Okay. And to clarify the Five of Pentacles. Okay, 2 cards that fell on the floor, but I am going to take them if my nails will permit me to pick them up. All right, so to clarify this Five of Pentacles, we have, 2 major arcana that came out together, and they are Temperance and Divine Intervention. I don't know why I'm holding them like this. Also, the camera timer just went to 5:55, which could be a significant number for you. We also have 55 here, like the 2 5s next to each other. And hey, that's 5 5s together. So I don't know, 5 is significant. Someone could be a life path 5, or the month of May might be significant. Could also be something like a 5-year age gap, or you've known this person for 5 years. But the number 5 has to do with change. So I think that there are big changes coming to both of your lives respectively that will then change this connection or change the dynamic between the two of you. I'm not sure how just yet. Maybe that will come up later in the reading. But I think that this year in particular, whatever year you're watching this, like this is up in 2023, but it doesn't matter. Whatever year you're watching this, this is going to be a year of very big changes for you and very big changes for this person. And then, yeah, like the dynamic between the two of you changes. I also think that this is someone in general who there's a feeling of them not being able to stay in one place for too long, not being able to sit still. It could be that they jump from one living situation to the next, or from one interest to the next, or one relationship to the next. But they're saying that there's something about you that has them stuck on you. That is the word that they would use. And I know that stuck can kind of have a negative connotation, but I don't think they necessarily mean it in a negative way. It's just a neutral observation that they've made, that they're kind of stuck on you, that their thoughts keep coming back to you, or you keep coming back into their life, or you keep coming back into their awareness, into their field of vision. They can't seem to get away from you. And it's funny, it's like the words they use, you would think that they're negative, right? Like, I'm stuck, I can't get away. But they're not saying it with a negative feeling, if that makes sense. It's just what they've noticed. I notice we keep coming back around each other, or I notice you keep coming up on my mind. With the Empress here, this person definitely views you in a very high regard. Like, I don't know how to say it, high quality, high caliber person. Yeah, they think of you very highly. They see you as someone who deserves the best things in life and has all of the means necessary, like all the talent, everything that it takes to get the best things in life. They might see you as an abundant person, or see you as someone who is doing very well for themselves, who has it all together. And they see you as very beautiful. And I do think that this is focusing on an external beauty. Like, they just think you're absolutely gorgeous or absolutely handsome, or whatever word you like to be called. Just visually stunning, I'll put it that way. If this is, obviously, unless this is like family or a platonic connection, I do think that the Empress can indicate a heavy level of attraction. It definitely indicates a feeling of love, a feeling of wanting to care for you, having a soft spot for you, and also that you're the type of person who is like future material, who is long-term commitment material. They might want you to be their life partner or want to have a life partner who is like you. Or if it's not that kind of connection, I think that this is them wanting to protect you, nurture you, and support you in the long term. They think that you have a lot of potential and that you can create beautiful things in this world, or that you already do create beautiful things in this world. For those of you who are artists or creatives, I think that they really love the work that you do. And I'm hearing for some of you that your work has really moved them and really impacted them, maybe even elicited an emotional reaction from them. I think that you inspire this person a lot as well. They may actually create things because of you, or create things inspired by you, or dedicate their work to you. And with the 9 of Cups underneath this, I think you are sort of like a wish to this person. They wish to have you, or they wish to be closer to you. You're sort of like an ideal to this person, I could say. You're the ideal partner, or you're the ideal friend, or you're the ideal self. They want to be like you, or they want to be with someone like you. You represent some kind of goal, some kind of ideal, something that they desire. This person might wish for you, pray for you. They want you. They have very positive feelings towards you. And there's a feeling that having you or having you in their life would ease a lot of their worries, would ease a lot of their stresses. You would be like a wish come true. So over here we have the 5 of Swords, which is clarified by the Knight of Cups. There is a specific message for those of you who are in separation with this person, or you've had some kind of falling out, fight, or conflict with them, and they want you to know that this actually got to them a lot more than they let on. So, for example, if you got carried away in an argument and you said something kind of hurtful towards them, even if you didn't mean it, they might have acted like it didn't get to them or they didn't really care, but it actually hurt their feelings a lot. Or if you called them out on something, pointed out a flaw or pointed out something they're doing that's not okay, they might have shut you down in the moment, but they want you to know that they actually took what you said to heart, and they've been doing a lot of reflection since then, and they know that you were right. So they might want to come through to admit that to you. The words that the two of you exchange, they take them to heart more than you know, and they kind of hold on to every word and reflect on it more than you know. And I think that you have inspired deep introspection and change within this person. They're saying that they're actually quite a sensitive person, but they might not necessarily show that all the time. But they've been trying to embrace their sensitivity more and embrace the emotional side of them more, not see it as something that is bad or weak or invalid or irrelevant. They want to embrace that side of them more and are actually taking steps to do that, because with this being a knight is about forward motion and progress, because the knight is literally moving forward on their horse. And then we have the number 5, which, like we spoke about before, is all about change. And interestingly too, we have air energy and water energy here, which is like the head and the heart. So I think that you've inspired this person to value what their heart has to say just as much as what their head has to say, to value emotion just as much as logic, and to think about how they can allow both to coexist within them. I think that this person maybe in the past has said some things to you out of pride, or refused to admit when they were wrong, refused to admit when they had some reflection to do, when their behaviors were harmful and they needed to change. Because there's kind of this feeling of like, you were right, and there's kind of this feeling of you have made me think a lot more than you realize, and my heartstrings have been played on more than you realize. I think this person is kind of in a reflective mode right now. I think they would also want you to know that they've been like this for a reason. And that's not an excuse, but more just an explanation. The way these swords are pointing towards the Knight of Cups, it's almost like there is an attack happening on that soft, vulnerable, emotional, sensitive being. So it's likely that this person has grown up around people who, oh, interesting, people who kind of attacked feminine energy, or women in general even, or things that they associated with being feminine, like being soft, being sensitive, being emotional, things that are stereotypically associated with women and femininity. They could have grown up in a family, in a community, or in a society that kind of devalued or even demonized those things. Like, there's no place for emotion if you want to make progress, if you want to live an effective life, if you want to be successful. That, like, there was no place to be soft, or to be fluid, or to be gentle or vulnerable. So they kind of grew up with that armor and learned to suppress certain sides of them. And I think they're realizing now that the way they've behaved in general, or maybe the way they treated you, was kind of perpetuating those things that were pushed onto them. And I think they want it to stop with them. So next we have the Five of Pentacles, which is clarified by Temperance and Divine Intervention. This is very interesting and a clear message as well. I will say I am starting to get even stronger separation vibes, or no contact vibes. Or at the very least, you're not in as much contact as this person would like to be, or you're not as close as this person would like to be with you. Because with the Five of Pentacles, when it comes to connections, this generally means that they miss you. They miss you, they feel your absence, they feel lonely, they feel shut out by you, or they regret shutting you out. There is that feeling of coldness, loneliness, isolation, abandon. I think you guys get the picture. However, I will say it doesn't really look to me like this person is going to be taking action towards you. Because we have this Five of Pentacles that is clarified by Temperance and Divine Intervention. Temperance generally shows an emotional, or not emotional, just a general restraint. We're holding back on something, and we're being patient. And especially when it comes out with Divine Intervention, like putting these two together, it gives me this feeling of someone who's just like holding back, sitting back, and waiting for a divine intervention. So to give an example, this would be like if someone broke up with their ex and they really want to get back with their ex, but they're not going to reach out. So they just keep, and interesting that we had this wishing, this is a wish, the Nine of Cups. it's like they're wishing to be with you or wishing to be back with you, but they're more so wishing that the cards will just fall that way, or wishing that life would bring the two of you back together, or a higher power would bring the two of you back together, rather than directly walking towards you. So it doesn't really seem from this spread that there would be direct action or direct communication taken towards you in the foreseeable future, even though the desire is there and the wishing and dreaming is there. And I mean, there could be many reasons for this. It could be that this person doesn't think it's in their place to reach out to you. Like, kind of like, how can I say? It's not in their place. They're not in the position to do that, especially if they feel like they messed up. Like, who am I to waltz back in kind of thing. It could also be because they recognize they still have more work to do here. Because unlearning stuff takes a long time and healing takes a long time. So this could also be them saying, I recognize that I need to change if I want to go about this connection in the right way, and if I want to truly make you, group 4, happy. I know that there's a change that needs to happen within me. And so if I'm to come forward again, I want to be sure that I've made this change so that I don't make the same mistakes again. So it could be actually a self-awareness and a respect for you that is preventing them from like rushing back in. And yeah, temperance is also, you know, you're looking at a situation in a level-headed way. So as much as impulsively they might love to rush back into your life, they might feel like not enough time has passed that we have both made meaningful changes. And I even think that this person is in contact with their guides or with spirit. They have been asking for help and guidance from a higher power to help them in life and to help them with this connection. And that goes for any level of spirituality. They may be saying, Spirit, show me the way. They might be asking God. They might be asking their spirit guides. Or they might just be looking up and saying, if there's anyone out there, whoever you are, please help me. But I feel that they are asking a higher power for guidance to help with this situation with you. And they have asked, when it's time or when I'm ready, show me a sign. When I have done what needs to be done, when I've made the necessary changes, when I've grown, when I've become the person I'm meant to be, please, like, show me a sign. I guess that their work is done. That may be how they put it. So I guess I can say the desire is there, the intention is there, the feelings are there. Immediate action is not there, but I feel like that's for the best at this time. So let's take a look at your oracle cards. We're going to go in with our Inquire Within deck. What else does group number 4's person want them to know? You already are. I think that another thing this person would say to you is that they're sorry if they've ever if they've ever contributed to making you feel like you are not enough. Because you are, and you always were, and you always will be. They would even go so far to say that you are perfect. They truly see you as perfect, as in you don't need to change. And I think the butterfly is reminding us that there's a difference between changing and evolving. When a caterpillar turns into a butterfly, they're evolving, but they're still the same them. It's still the same creature in there. It's not really becoming something that is not themselves. I'm sorry, I hope I'm making sense. What I mean is that we can change while still being the same us that we always were. There's a difference between evolving on our journey and changing to try to be something that we're not. And while I think this person is really happy to see you evolve, they hope that you never feel like you have to fundamentally change who you are or change something about you in order to be worthy. Because you've always been enough to them and you've always been perfect to them. And there's something like, I hope it's not too late to say that. We have let it flow, let it grow. This gives me the feeling of divine timing, of letting go of control issues, allowing the situation to progress naturally over time. I feel like action towards each other is not required from either of you at this time. And I even want to say is not recommended. I feel like focusing on our own growth is really the most important thing at this time. While their 3D self might be really, really yearning for you, their higher self recognizes that it shouldn't be forced or rushed right now. We also have don't take it all too seriously. I think your souls have a very close bond and your souls are always good with each other. They're always the best of friends. And this is just one of many, many journeys that you're taking together. And it's kind of like, no matter what happens, we're going to be together at the end of the day because you already are together. And when you leave this incarnation, you'll remember that. You'll be right there with each other again and rejoicing and laughing about the experiences that you've shared. It feels very dark and intense and serious when we're here in this physical world, when we're here in this meat suit, but our souls are very joyous and jubilant and very humorous beings, if that's the right way to say it. Like, they have a great humor about them. And they just want to enjoy existence. And if this connection, or if thinking about this connection is something that makes you feel joyous and lighthearted, then you should keep it close to your heart. But if it makes you feel heavy or stressed out or frustrated or desperate, then maybe we release it to the wind, like a little dandelion fluff. I think their higher self is saying, like, I never want you to be stressing yourself out over me or to be agonizing over me, especially not this little 3D avatar. The real me is always here with you. Nothing is worth putting yourself through this much stress. Not even a twin flame or whatever label you want to use. Like, it's just not worth it. You're here for a short time. Enjoy yourself. And if the connection with me isn't bringing you joy, then you don't owe me anything. I'm not a part of your life purpose like that. You can achieve everything without me. Finally, we have be gentle with yourself. And at the bottom, cultivate stillness. And this is really interesting too, the way, how would you call it? The way this line is like calming down and calming down and calming down and calming down. It feels like it's becoming more peaceful. We have this card that's talking about being gentle. I think at the end of the day, your person's higher self just really wants you to be at peace, doesn't want you to be struggling or stressing in any way. And I just want to leave it at that. I think that the biggest advice for you is to prioritize your own peace. I think that, and there's also this feeling of let it all go, like let go of the burdens, let go of the pressure. There may be something, it could be this connection, but it could be something else. There may be something that you've been chasing for a long time and it feels like you're in a hamster wheel. And we're just finally gonna let it go after going up and down so many times, after going through an emotional roller coaster so many times, trying to chase this goal or chase this thing or chase this person. They're saying like, just let it go. Like that release will feel so good. Don't let this thing control you anymore. Temperance as well. It's like, I feel like this really describes temperance. Going from these violent ups and downs to just smooth, just a level-headed, just still. Find your peace by refusing to hold on to things that bring you stress or that bring you sadness. If you need... Their higher self is saying, like, if you need to walk away from this connection, they won't be offended. Interesting. Well, and also, you never need to walk away forever. I'll also say that. But I think that these are all of the messages for now. So I'm going to end this reading here. Group number 4 is thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. Thank you so much to Tarot Stack as well for allowing me to collaborate with you, and thank you very much to the creators of these amazing decks. I'm going to link this winter bundle down below for you guys, and I'm also going to link the individual decks. You can look at every single card in the decks on Tarot Stack's website, so if you think that you might resonate with one or both of these decks but you want to take a better look at them, you can see all the cards through the links down below. And remember, if you do get the winter bundle, you can get it for 10% off with the code KINO. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can find me on Instagram. I post regular pick a card readings there as well. You can find me on Patreon. So far we have over 50 exclusive pick a card readings on there, plus 2 new ones every month, and you get to choose the topic for those. You can find me on my music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, you can do so over on my music channel. And finally, we have merch at kinotarot.com, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. And we have that on hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags. So all of that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It really means a lot to me, and I truly appreciate you being here. Group number 4 is I'm sending so much love to you, to your person, to your spirit guides, and to your whole spiritual team, both here on earth and in the spirit realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.